Hi, this is Catweed again. I'm back to you today for my Blumats setup, for my outdoor Blumats setup. I moved my plants outside today because it's nice and warm and the California sun should keep them in bloom until June 1st, which I hope they'll be close to being done. You will have to spray for insects the minute you move your plants outside, so don't forget that. Neem oil is a very good place to start. Anyways, alright, so Blumats. First of all, you can put this little gadget on the end of a hose or where it is right now. This is very important. You have to have a step down pressure reducer because all your hoses will blow off if you don't. And as you can see, the pressure reducer is sustainablevillage.com. It goes down to the 8mm hose right here. If you're using the 8mm hose, it comes with your little kit, one of your starter kits that you bought. Great, keep using that. If you're like me and you've been doing it for a while, you can jury rig something or just buy the piece to step it down to a 1/4" hose, American type. So we follow that over here. Inside this bucket, I've already done this with the ones I've used, but you want to soak these and get the cone nice and wet, and this should be completely full of water. This is a Maxi Blumat and a regular Blumat next to each other. For this grow, I only need the regular one, but those are all being used inside my tent, so oh well, we're going to use the big one. And we're coming up here. You can see I've just put regular 1/4" irrigation piping, splits and tees to bring in a little pipe to every plant. You got two choices for the end, only from a Sustainable Village. This is a 1/4" to a 2mm. And over here we have, like in my tent, these are a 1/4" to 2mm with a quick release. I just twist this and it pops right off. The Blumats, the Maxi Blumats, I didn't need them buried all the way down to the bottom, so they're buried about right here. Each plant, each pot will need 3 emitters because the Blumat will not be giving out water directly. It's your emitters right here. You see there's one with the drip on it right now. Now, these emitters can be adjusted individually to drip more or less. As you see, there's a little screw on it. You could turn that either way. Sometimes if you have 3 emitters in a row, the last one will need to be more open than the first 2 and stuff like that. Little micro adjustments. But overall, all your adjustments of how much water they're going to get are beginning from this little screw right here, not from the emitters. So you can see a couple plants in here going right now. There shouldn't be anything dripping, so I'm still working on turning these down. This is another option you have. Instead of having a Y piece off the Blumat, it just went in a straight line to 3 emitters, and the last emitter is an N piece. That's another option you have. They both seem to work perfectly fine. And here's the last one over here. And make sure you water your plants first before you do this, because when you put this in here, your plants are already freshly watered. You don't need any more water, so you want to make sure you're twisting this a little 1/4 bit piece at a time until it stops dripping. It might take you a day or two to get it perfect, but these plants are very forgiving. I think someone else had a question for me, and I don't remember what it is. I have to look it up. I do want to point out a mistake I made, since those are good to make. Not good, but good to show you. I overbent this plant, and it got bent right here. So I've kind of reinforced it with a little bit of tape and try to hold it with these 2 pieces, hoping it will keep growing and kind of get tougher in that area where it bent. It has in the past. I hope so now, because it's a beautiful plant, and hopefully I didn't destroy it. Everybody else, I will show you what I'm doing right now. I'm just letting them grow, but we'll cover that later. So I do want to mention that you need to still water your plants enough so that the water runs through. Every 2 weeks or so, I'll pour several gallons of water, pH water, in each one until it runs out, gets the old fertilizer out, and put the new fertilizer in. Also, once a week, I'm still giving these guys nutrients. I'll fill up a gallon, 2 gallons for these 4 plants and give them lots of nutrients. And meanwhile, the Blumats are my safety precaution here. If I'm sick, as you know, I get this way a lot. I want something to take care of my plants until I get myself out here and water them. Or if it's 90 degrees and these plants all dry out in the middle of the day, I want something to take care of them. So this is a perfect solution for this. I have used this grow in my raised beds for an entire summer. I've used these Blumat setups, and they kept everything very moist, and the plants were doing great. So if you have any questions about these, let me know. They came with me from Germany, but they are here in the United States now, and they're great for people who kind of just don't feel good all the time, or just are busy and might forget to take care of their plants. So until later, I guess I'll talk to you later. I had a little bit too much of my buds before I did this. Adios.